What's up, everyone? Welcome to This Day in Philly Sports History for January 20th, 2025. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Victory Monday edition of the podcast. We're going to the NFC Championship game. Apologize for my voice. Long day in the cold, snow, and at the game yesterday, so I do apologize. But it is a Victory Monday, 28-22, Eagles over the Rams in the snow. And what a fun game. Snow held off till about halftime or so, but when it came down, and man, was it fun. And as I always do the day after the game, these are just sort of my takes without looking at anything. I did listen to Nick Sirianni's press conference on the way home, so it's really the only sort of thing I've looked at yet today. So these are just sort of my takeaways. First and foremost, the game was fun. Absolutely a fun game to be in the snow. Saquon Barkley is just an absolute beast. It was sloppy when the weather came, and I'll get more into that in the three keys. But overall, a fun game to be at. When Brian Dawkins came out and got the crowd fired up, it was amazing. I would have loved to see him do one of his classic entrances, but there was snow on the ground, so he did not. Little concerned about Jake Elliott. 1 for 3 on his extra points, made the game closer than what it had to be. Cost us our -6.5 bet, but did hit 3 big field goals in the snow. So very inconsistent, and we've been all right. But somehow I feel as though this is going to come back to bite us at some point. But he was clutch in the snow when it mattered. The offense played decent. It was tough going in the second half. Jalen took 7 sacks. Most of them were on him, holding the ball too long. I don't know if that was just because of the snow, waiting for guys to get open. There were some drops. He did possibly injure his leg, but did do decent in the first half. I thought the scripted 15 plays were good, and then they kind of went away with that. But after that, some of the play calls were suspect, especially going deep in the snow. I would have liked to have seen more use because Goddard was good when they got the ball to him. Would have liked to see them get it to Goddard more. But you do what you do to win and move on. And truthfully, that really is the only thing. And that's what this team has been all year, is just doing what it takes to win. It hasn't always been pretty, but they win with their physicality, and then Saquon wearing them down. Concerned about the leg injury. Jalen said it's no big deal, but we'll see more as that comes on. Also, Quinyon Mitchell, the shoulder injury, you could tell that kind of hurt the team there. And we've seen when Isaiah Rodgers and Ringo, I think, played a little bit. When they come in cold, they're just not as good as if they have time to prep. But those are the 2 big injuries we're kind of monitoring as we go. But the defense played championship level defense yesterday. Forced 2 turnovers, got the big plays when they needed it. Jalen Carter was just an absolute beast, and coming up big when it mattered the most. I thought the linebackers played well. It was mostly Oren Burks, but he filled in nicely for Nakobe Dean. It was a pretty cool thing to see Zach Bond come out with Nakobe Dean's jersey. So we'll see, again, the Quinyon Mitchell injury. We'll see how that goes. He says he's going to play, so we'll kind of take him as his word. But I really do think the defense was the key to this game, and just clamping down when they need it. I thought it was kind of weird when they had the lead, that last Rams touchdown, though. They were playing the prevent, and I hate that. They should have just pinned their ears back and continued to do what they did, and almost got them there at the end. But again, Jalen Carter comes through when he needs to. Dude is an absolute stud. So Washington next week at home. Eagles are early 5.5-point favorites. Should be a good game. Early weather forecast doesn't look like there's going to be any weather, so it should be a straight-up game. I'm good for a good 10 years now before another snow game, but it was a lot of fun. Let's revisit the 3 keys to the game. First key, I say get off to a fast start, and they did that. The only time they trailed was in the first quarter, 7-6, after Elliott missed the extra point. But after that, they had the lead when the snow came, and I thought that was important because they didn't have to press and try to come back in the snow the way the Rams did. They, like I said, they responded well when they needed to, and Jalen's run was just outstanding. It's going to be interesting to see how the leg is, but overall, I think we nailed that one. Number 2 was play physical, and I think both offensive lines played physical, or offensive and defensive line played physical all game long, and you needed to do that against a team as the Rams. Jared Verse had himself a game. To his credit, he did back up his trash talk. And then finally, do your job for the most part. I felt everybody just needed to do what they do, stay within yourselves. And I think for the most part, they did that. Jalen, like I said, could have been better, especially in the second half. AJ had a couple drops. Kellen Moore, the play calling, like I said, was a little suspect. And then again, I don't know the clock management at the end of the first quarter after the sack. I don't know why. It was just a weird sequence. It ended up working out. They didn't want to give the Rams a 2-for-1, but it was just a weird sequence of events before the half. So hopefully they got to clean that up. Heading into this week, should be no interviews for Kellen Moore. Get healthy, and we'll see where we go. But overall, I'll take it. At this point in the year, it does not matter what the games look like. We're not worried about stats. We're not worried about who looks good and is Jalen a good quarterback or a game manager or whatever. Does not matter as long as you win and advance. And now we have 2 more games left in the season, starting Sunday against Washington. A little bit of a revenge spot for the Eagles. We could see, as long as he's healthy, this could be the Jalen Hurts finishing the game, taking him to the Super Bowl. It could be a big spot for him. But overall, we will take it. 28-22, Eagles beat the Rams in the snow. As I get a chance to look at more highlights and really kind of rewatch some of the game, I'll have more specifics on this game tomorrow, but we will take it. We're moving on to the NFC Championship game. And as we do every day after, time to vote for the GOAT of the game, and I think it's only 2. Is it Saquon Barkley with 2 massive touchdown runs, or Jalen Carter, who really led that defense? 267-495-8531. That'll get you into the Back to the Future voice and text line. But who do you got? This is a tough one. I might have to go Carter because that last sack really saved the game and put the pressure on the Rams to try to have to get a touchdown from further back. But let me know your thoughts. 267-495-8531. That's the Back to the Future voice and text line. Who's your go to the game? Is it Jalen Carter? Is it Saquon Barkley? Vote now.